sensibility to certain impressions. Perhaps we should be more susceptible to some influences important to our intellectual and moral growth. If the sun had shone and the wind blown on us a little less, and no doubt it is a nice matter to proportion rightly the thick and thin skin. But methinks that is a scurf that fall off fast enough, that the natural remedy is to be found in the proportion which the night bears to the day, the winter to the summer thought to experience. There will be so much the more air and sunshine in our thoughts. The callous palms of the laborer are conversant with the finer tissues of self-respect and heroism, whose touch thrills the heart than languid fingers of idleness. There is mere sentimentality that lies ahead by day and thinks itself white, far from the tone and colors of experience. When we walk, we naturally go to the field and woods. What would become of us if we walked only in a garden or a moor? Even some sect of philosophers have felt the necessity of importing the woods to themselves, since they did not go to the woods. They planted groves and walks of Plotinus, where they took subdialus, ambulationus, in particles open to the air. Of course, it is of no use to direct our steps to the woods, if they do not carry us thither. I am alarmed when it happens that I have walked a mile into the woods bodily without getting there in spirit. In my afternoon walk, I would fain forget all my morning occupations and my obligations to society. But it sometimes happens that I cannot easily shake off the village. The thought of some work will run in my head, and I'm not where my body is. I am out of my senses. In my walks, I would fain return to my senses. What business have I in the woods if I'm thinking of something out of the woods? I suspect myself and cannot have a shudder when I find myself so implicated even in what I called good walks, for this may sometimes happen. My vicinity affords many good walks, and though for so many years I have walked almost every day, and sometimes for several days together, I have not yet exhausted them. An absolutely new prospect is great happiness, and I can still get this an afternoon. 2 or 3 hours walking will carry me to as strange a country as I expect ever to see. A single farmhouse which I had not seen before is sometimes as good as the dominions of the king of Dahomey. There is in fact a sort of harmony discoverable between the capabilities of the landscape within a circle of 10 miles radius, or the limits of an afternoon walk, and the 80 years and 10 of human life. It will never become quite familiar to you. Nowadays, almost all man's improvements, so-called, as the building of houses and the cutting down of the forest and of all large trees, simply deform the landscape and make it more and more tame and cheap. A people who would begin by burning the fences and let the forest stand. I saw the fences have consumed, their ends lost in the middle of the prairie, and some worldly miser with a surveyor looking after his bounds while heaven had.